Está certo, só está certo. Eu peço imensa desculpa por isso. Acho que eu poder compensar.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the MHCI Capstone presentations. My name is Monica Cameirão. I'm the director of the program. And first of all, I would like to welcome everybody here, namely Director of the University of the Madeira, Professor José Carmo, the President of MITI, that I guess is outside, and Vice President, Professor Valentina. I also would like to thank the representatives of the Capstones that we have this year, namely Collab, Exitus, Porto Bay, More For You. All the guests from the Madeiran institutions that accepted our invitation and are here today, thank you so much for being here. All the faculty members from UMA, from MITI, faculty teams from our administration, researchers, students, friends, thank you so much for being here today. So for those of you that are not very familiar of how this program works, so students work in teams. They work for a real client and address a real-world problem. So in January, when the students arrive, they get a brief from their sponsors with a challenge, a problem that they have to solve. And what we are going to see today is how students addressed what is the solution that they are proposing to address that specific challenge that they were given. So as I mentioned before, this year's sponsors are More For You, Porto Bay, Collab, Exitus. I want to take the opportunity to thank the sponsors for supporting our program, for trusting the students. So this would not have been possible without you, and we thank you for this. Okay, let me just give you a general overview of the program today. So we will also have hear some words from the director, Professor José Carmo. Then we will have a 2 minutes madness, where you have a very short introduction, like a flavor to what you will be seeing in the longer presentations. So as I said, we have 4 teams. We have Pearl Collective, Metis, Explorer, and Elementary. And then we will have the longer presentations. Finally, I just want to congratulate the students. Hey, you made it. So it's great that we reached the stage. I'm really proud of what you did. Good luck for your presentations and also for your future careers. So thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dear President of MITI, dear Director of the MHCI course, dear Professional Master in Human Computer Interaction, my colleague Professor Monica Cameirão, dear representatives of the Capstones, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and finally and firstly, dear MHCI students and family and friends here present. As Rector of the University of Madeira, it is a great pleasure for me to be here and to be part of the opening ceremony of the presentation of the Capstone project. In this event, I presented the final works developed by the MHCI students. Thus, this event marks the culmination of your effort and experience acquired during your period of formation, and which now becomes a real application. I would like to congratulate you for having reached this last stage of your formation, and wish you all the best for the future, with the hope that all your dreams will continue to be fulfilled and that you maintain links with MITI and with the University of Madeira. Thank you.
All right, 2-minute madness. So just a very brief preview of what you will see with the Pearl Collective presentation, which will be happening shortly. My name is Ryan Huber, and I'm part of the Capstone team known as Pearl Collective. This year, we had the honor of working with Porto Bay Hotels and Resorts. And since January, we spent so much time with their guests, with staff, with management. And it's really been a true honor and a pleasure. And in a little while, we'll give you all of the details of what we've designed, but just a little teaser. We're going to be introducing you to Eva, which is a conversational interface to help staff better serve guests. And you'll see that there are components of it that are for staff that help give the staff members just the right information that they need at just the right time. And there are also components of Eva for guests, where guests can converse with Eva by Facebook Messenger or SMS. And when they're in the room, even talk to Eva using this little device that we've designed. And that's actually what I'm going to show you right now, just a little preview. We have it here. And so I'll say, Eva. All right, Eva, hello.
Hello everyone, my name is Eva. I'm your personal concierge. I'm available here in your hotel room to help you with anything you might need. I can help you find information about town, order a special pillow from our pillow menu, book a reservation at the spa in one of our restaurants, or even just adjust the lights and temperature in your room. You can speak to me anytime. And when you're out of your hotel room, you can also message me on Facebook Messenger if you need anything. Enjoy your stay here at Porto Bay.
Eva, I was wondering if I could order some dessert.
Of course, here is our dessert menu. Do you already know what you would like?
Actually, I think maybe I'll order 40 pastéis de nata.
Certainly. 40 orders of pastel de nata. Will it be all?
Yes, I think that'll be plenty.
I've placed your order. They will be waiting at your demonstration table by the time your presentation is finished.
All right. Cool. All right, so in a little while you'll hear all of the details, but for now, that is what we're working on with Pearl Collective and Porto Bay.
Managing contact center operations can be a messy business. Between ensuring that you're hitting your performance goals, assisting your agents with difficult customers, and coordinating staffing levels with colleagues, there's always more than one thing you could be doing at any given time. This is why we've developed One Supervisor Mobile. One Supervisor Mobile makes managing a contact center more efficient and productive. It grants managers the ability to move freely around the contact center and assist their agents to resolve customer issues more quickly, while still being able to keep a watchful eye over the contact center is performing. This unparalleled closeness to agents allows managers to discover difficult customer issues quicker and earlier, and without agents needing to ask them for help. With the mobile listen-in feature, managers can listen in to calls if they perceive a difficult customer issue, even if the agent is situated at a distance, opening up the possibility of managers overseeing larger teams of agents who aren't necessarily co-located. Streamlined communication is key in a busy contact center. With One Supervisor Mobile, managers can send contextually aware responses to agents and colleagues with one tap. Our design also makes sending relevant information quick and easy, saving managers time that could be spent assisting their agents. Performance issues will arise inevitably. One Supervisor Mobile proactively alerts managers when performance goals are not being met, and intelligently suggests actions that the manager can take to address the issue.
Our design emerged as a result of conducting months of field research in various contact centers. We shadowed and interviewed many supervisors and observed that slow communications was preventing contact centers from being run more productively and efficiently. After investigating many solutions, we arrived at One Supervisor Mobile. We believe that this solution is easy to adopt and implementable in the near term.
Designed for early issue detection, streamlined communications, and action-oriented notifications, One Supervisor Mobile is a powerful solution for streamlining contact center operations.
Meet Stephanie. She's a young professional living in Berlin. She's also a globetrotter, getting ready for her next vacation in Madeira, not forgetting an essential mosquito repellent. She's almost all set to go. But before leaving for her trip, she sees her friend post a link to a new video website called Vignette, where she can discover user-generated live videos of Madeira. She checks it out and sees a live streaming of a hike in Porto Muniz, and notices there's comments coming from viewers watching and reacting to the video. She realizes she can even book this activity because Vignette links her to the merchant site. She signs up for an account and gets a discount on the activity for signing up. Next up, Stephanie's about to reach her destination. The mountains are really something, and this place looks bigger than she'd imagined, and yet so close to the water. On her first day in Madeira, she walks around the old town in Funchal to see how this app helps her discover what's happening around. The app senses her location and shows some suggested live videos going on around her. She scrolls through and selects a video of a girl having ice cream nearby. The flavors look so good. She goes to the partner website to check it out and adds the activity to her wish list for later. Now time to stream some videos of her own. Now here's something she hasn't seen before. This guy selling roasted chestnuts. She's got to stream this for other travelers to see. She clicks on the live stream button to broadcast and share with other viewers on Vignette. She's live. Her day is just getting better. There's so much holiday festivity in the air to broadcast. Okay, time for a little afternoon treat at that ice cream place from earlier. She picks her favorite ice cream flavor and ends her stream with an ice cream selfie. Vignette. Be there.
It's hard to know what's happening with your money. Echo gives you insight into your financial life in ways that make sense. From shopping, categorizing purchases, accomplishing your goals, tracking your spending, informing your future transactions, planning for your retirement, and giving you insights into your purchases, helping you get to what really matters, your life. Master your finances with Echo.
Hello, okay. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here with us today. We are the Pearl Collective. My name is Tiffany Wang.
I'm Ryan Huber.
I'm Rachel Ng.
I'm Abdi Mousset, and we've been working with Porto Bay Hotels and Resorts.
Porto Bay operates a dozen 4- and 5-star properties in Portugal and Brazil. And at the start of this project, they asked us to find ways to raise engagement with their guests and to better understand touch points with their brand as a means of improving their guest experience. Their guest loyalty and occupancy rates are pretty stellar, so some of their business objectives are to find ways to sell more services to their guests and to attract the next generation of guests.
From this, we established a goal of empowering Porto Bay staff to be proactive in creating personalized experiences for each and every guest. During the spring semester, we conducted extensive research using a wide variety of methods. Notes produced through these research methods were then organized into an infinity diagram. Through our research, we also gained a thorough understanding of a guest's journey from start to finish, from arrival and check-in to checkout and departure and everything else in between.
From our research, we found that our design needs to accomplish these three things: to proactively address guest needs, provide personalized recommendations, and to reward guest loyalty.
With these insights in mind, we selected a single design direction that we were interested in pursuing, which is what we're here to present to you today. So we're very excited to introduce you all to Eva. Eva is a conversational agent that connects guests to resources and learns over time.
So to help illustrate Eva's capabilities, we've put together a short video that we'd like to share now.
What makes a hotel experience truly special? Of course, there's the view, the comfortable bed, the availability of services. But for many guests, the experience is particularly memorable when they feel like they're recognized, that their needs are known. So we asked ourselves, how can we help staff create more of these special experiences for guests? Introducing Eva, your personal concierge. Eva is an intelligent assistant designed to help both guests and staff. When guests are planning their trip, Eva gets to know them through mobile messaging. Using insights from their past visits, she's able to offer meaningful, personalized suggestions. And when it comes time for their stay, Eva helps the staff offer exceptionally personalized services by providing just the right information about the guests at just the right time. Once in their room, guests can speak directly to Eva. Whether it's requesting more pillows, controlling the lights, making a restaurant reservation, or tracking down the perfect area hike, Eva is at their service.
So what do you think if we go for a walk tomorrow or do some hiking?
Okay, sounds good. Eva, where could we go for a walk tomorrow?
There are many beautiful hikes here in Madeira. How long of a hike are you looking for?
Something not too long, maybe a 2-3 hours hike.
Serra d'Água Valley, Vereda dos Balcoas and Lavada do Alecrim are all great options. Lavada do Alecrim is the closest one. It's a 20-minute drive to the trailhead. But regardless of which you choose, I'd be happy to book you a taxi.
Let's do this last one, Lavada do Alecrim.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, could you please book us a taxi? Around 2 p.m. would be good.
Sounds perfect. I've sent you a message with further information about the hike.
Here we go.
Ah, great.
And after that hike, Eva can help the spa staff recommend the perfect massage or the perfect cocktail.
Mr. Johnson, welcome back from your Lavada walk.
Thank you.
I thought you might be interested in a gin and tonic.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, have a nice afternoon.
And why not end the day with a bit of room service? Perhaps a slice of apple pie. Eva reminds the kitchen of guest allergies as well as any preferences the guest may have previously mentioned. Like preferring their ice cream on the side rather than on top.
Oh, you remember that I like the ice cream on the side?
Yes, and of course we made it without any nuts.
Oh, thank you.
And that's Eva, a simple, consistent and natural way for guests to connect with their favorite hotel. And a new way for hotels to offer uniquely personalized experiences.
So, how exactly does Eva work? There are 3 pieces to the system that we're proposing: a conversational agent for in-room interactions, a notifications platform for staff that delivers contextually relevant information about guests at the right time, and finally, a guest insights platform that powers both the guest and the staff interfaces. So we mentioned that Eva will interact with guests using 2 forms: in-room speech as well as mobile messaging. In the room, Eva is a tabletop device, roughly about the size of your palm, and it can respond to guests' verbal requests. LED lights that are located under its inner rim illuminate the top surface to show its current state, indicating if she's listening, processing, responding, or on standby.
For the device's physical form, we needed to design something that would appear friendly and unobtrusive. We also wanted to design something that would feel at home in all Porto Bay properties, from their contemporary city resorts to their more homey resorts. So with that in mind, we've designed Eva to be milled from fine hardwood with a gentle curvature that's far more inviting than your traditional electronic devices. And for our reference design that we have here, we've used rapid prototyping techniques such as 3D printing directly with wood fibers.
Often, communication really benefits from a visual component, and for this, Eva connects directly to the in-room television and uses it to display information whenever appropriate. For example, a statement like, "Eva, I'd like to order some dessert," would automatically surface the dessert menu.
Eva's other form is a chatbot available on platforms such as Facebook Messenger or SMS. This allows the guest to interact with Eva while even being outside of the hotel room, and notably, even before they even check into the hotel. This allows Portabay to engagingly interact with the guest to provide that exceptional service that they go for.
So when thinking about what the system could be capable of, we grouped our ideas into different levels of increasing complexity, and we focused on capabilities that are achievable using existing or emergent technologies. Our core feature set can be broadly defined in 4 categories. One is Eva's ability to converse with guests through both in-room voice interactions and mobile messaging. Guests would use these for tasks like requesting information, room customization, and booking of hotel services.
Another is the system's ability to learn and essentially get to know a guest over time. So once it recognizes patterns in guest behavior, it can make inferences, allowing Eva and staff to make personalized suggestions.
The system will surface the most relevant guest data to staff at just the moment that they need it, allowing them to offer an entirely new level of personalized service.
Finally, the system will maintain a central repository of guest data, including profile information and purchase history. This data is critical for the system and currently very inaccessible.
So we wanted to give you a taste of how the components of the system would work from a technical perspective. The system would leverage existing data sources such as Opera, which is Portabay's property management system, and Symphony, the system they use for food and beverage purchases. Additionally, we would propose the creation of a new store for guest profile information.
A new Guest Insights platform would provide a central means of delivering relevant information to different departments. More specifically, it would use tools like machine learning to identify the most important details about the guest.
Additionally, staff will be provided with notifications that reveal the most important information about a guest. These notifications can appear on desktop computers, tablets, phones, or even smartwatches at just the right time. This enables the staff to provide exceptionally prompt and personalized service.
Guests then interact with our conversational agent, which has access to all of the same data and insights as staff. They can also easily carry conversations using existing messaging platforms such as Facebook Messenger and SMS. They can also converse with the spoken voice in the room. So before we move on, we'd like to focus a little on the technology that powers Eva. Let's look at a scenario where a guest asks, "Eva, where can I get a haircut?"
So this is a snapshot of what happens in the back end when a guest makes that request. First, the embedded software in the device recognizes the wake word Eva, and then the speaker's intent is analyzed, paying a special focus to the words where and haircut to understand where the guest wanted to go, and for this case, a barbershop or a salon. Then information is gathered from Eva's Insights backend, and then a response is generated through the device.
Good afternoon. There are 2 places nearby, Barber Mikel and Studio Gavin.
For the messaging platform, we're using the same system with natural language processing, intent analysis, data gathering, and response generation, but obviously no need to convert from speech to text.
So all of this might sound very complicated to implement, but fortunately there are a range of both hardware and software tools that abstract a lot of this complexity. So specifically, we were able to prototype with API.ai, which is a platform for conversational user experiences. So how did we know that this was a design worth pursuing? We tested our prototypes with 13 guests at 2 different Portabay properties, one here in Madeira and one in Lisbon. During these user tests, we asked participants to complete tasks using the in-room technology, and the feedback that we got was very positive.
We heard things like, when I'm on holiday, I don't want to flip through pamphlets. The fact that I can speak and it can just be done, I like that. Another guest told us, I felt I was speaking with a human after a very short time. I didn't feel that it was a computer communicating with me. We were very pleased to find that Eva's technology felt natural and that it did not erode the personal touch that the Portabay experience is all about. Another guest said, I'm not a computer person, but this was very easy to use. Another aspect of EVA that we are very excited about is the accessibility benefits that she provides. For example, to older guests who don't otherwise use computers often.
We also had the opportunity to conduct workshops with 10 different staff members at 3 different properties. During these sessions, we led staff through activities such as speed dating, card sorting, and projective sketching. These activities gave us the opportunity to include staff perspectives in the design process. So, what responses did we get? A staff member from the food and beverage department said that she felt the system was very good and it really helped her when she knows what guests had enjoyed in their previous dining experiences. Another staff member emphasized that knowing simple things like a guest's name and language helped him really make a big difference in the hotel experience. And finally, a member of the guest relations summed up his thoughts with a simple sentence, "I love it."
And so to wrap up, emerging and established products such as Apple's Siri, Amazon's Echo, and Google Home foreshadow natural voice interfaces becoming commonplace and perhaps even expected in hotel rooms. But simply dropping one of these existing devices into Portabé's rooms would be missing an opportunity. Instead, we endeavored to design a system that would leverage and even enhance the personal touch that Portabé excels at, and that guests love so much. Our hope is that EVA accomplishes just that.
And with that, we'd like to extend a thank you from all of us in the Pearl Collective. But before we take any questions, we'd also like to acknowledge several very important parties.
We were very fortunate with our wonderful clients who facilitated getting research subjects and getting us into the hotels and behind the scenes. We're deeply grateful for the trust that they placed in us. We're also very grateful for the University of Madeira and the Madeira Interactive Technologies Institute and all of the faculty and staff who have supported us, as well as our colleagues. And now we're very glad to take any questions that you may have. Thank you. Please.
It's not just a question of, it's not a question, but it's an assumption. So, and the thanks from our team, from our Portabé team, for the efforts that you're been doing. I think it's a small example, but a quite wide approach of supplying the answer to our needs. In fact, when we first talked to you and when we first talked to Professor Batmuller regarding what could we merge in talks and enjoy behind some our needs, it was in fact our guest-centric concept. And when we are talking about guests, what we see here is in fact in a sort of service industry, leaving time for our human answers. So when you are reaching this sort of level, enhances our group, our behavior in order to supply as much as possible from EVA to allow us even more time to protect our clients of the good things we want to pass. And then we are very thankful to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a more technical question because I didn't, this year I was not part of the faculty team, so I don't know the details of this year. I was wondering how feasible is the integration of something like this with the existing information systems, because I guess the interface could be done, but then you need to make sure that you place the order. Did you check that, or?
Sure. So we have sort of an implementation imagined plan, and there are a number of systems that don't exist, or they exist in their current form but would need some fairly heavy modification. So it's certainly not something that could just be dropped in and be as fully powerful as we kind of have projected it being immediately. But we've kind of imagined that if there was a process of setting a course in that direction that started soon, and part of that is gaining ownership of some of this data about guests and making sure it's collected in a centralized manner, that it'll make this kind of interface and others like it more feasible for the future.
Another interesting curiosity. Did you how would a guest know there's something like this?
Yeah, so actually that was something that we talked about at length, especially after our user research testing. One of the things that we discussed was getting staff members to introduce the device to the guests, mainly because I think if possible, staff members actually bring the guests to check in to show them around in the room. So if that's not possible, we also have like a onboarding on the television. So when you switch it on, you'll get some instructions about, okay, this is Eva, introducing Eva to you and how to use it. And it's obviously an optional device. You shouldn't be forced to use it. It's to help people who feel comfortable using it.
Thank you. All right. Oh, yes. Sure.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. Very successful narrative, very compelling. I was wondering what happens if in the room there is actually brother and sister who are called Ivan and Eva. Who is faster?
That is an excellent question. And naming a device and trying to come up with an easy to pronounce name that also isn't someone else's name is certainly a challenge. There's some work being done in recognizing when you're actually addressing a device rather than a person based on which direction you're facing when you start addressing the device. But we haven't addressed that in our project. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to move the table.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. We're Team Metis, and today we'll tell you a little bit about our design for improving the operations of contact centers and hopefully making it a little bit more human-centered in the process. So I'm Will Miao, the project manager of the team.
I'm Iris, I'm the visual designer.
I'm Firna, I'm the dev lead. I'm Helen, I'm the interaction designer.
And today we'll walk you through the project. Strategy that we took, share some of the user feedback that we gained, and finally present you with a demo of our final product. So our client was Collab. They're an IT software company based in Lisbon, and they specialize in making software for contact centers. And as you know, in a contact center, it's a place where customer contact calls are held. Agents will receive calls and make calls in the case of telemarketing activities. And also in these contact centers are supervisors who are the managers of these agents. And the supervisors are responsible for making sure that agents are handling calls efficiently and making sure that teams are neither overstaffed nor understaffed. And so this is Anna. She's a supervisor, manages a team of 15 different agents. Throughout her day, she's managing the agents, delegating the teams, and making sure that all the metrics are on target. And as you can see here, she's monitoring a long list of real-time metrics and performance indicators
which guide her decision-making process throughout the day. She's constantly juggling many tasks, switching back and forth between sitting at her desk, where she's monitoring the metrics, and then moving over to her agent's desks, where she's giving them help with difficult customer issues. And this is where we noticed a big problem. When Anna's at her desk, she can't help her agents. And when she's at her agent's desk, she loses sight of the big picture of operations and might miss a critical event. This led us to our mission statement. We want to streamline the operations of contact centers by empowering supervisors to assist and coach their agents more rapidly without losing sight of high-level operations. And with that, I'll pass it to Iris to walk you through our design strategy.
Okay, so as Will has mentioned, our first insight is that supervisors need information on the go. This is the reason we have adopted a tablet form for size and mobility. So supervisors like Anna can always keep an eye on the information while they are walking around the contact center floor and helping their agents. In addition, Anna might need to know that, for example, here, Manuel, this agent, what services he's assigned to and how many minutes of break he has taken throughout the day. To cater to that need, we have created actionable insights, which is just at their fingertips to show the agent information and other related information. In addition, while Anna is walking around, we don't want her to miss any important performance issues. So we have created alerts that is fully customizable to Anna's needs. So Anna can decide what's important to her and be notified when it's needed. In addition, insight number 2, we have noticed there is a communication barrier between agents and supervisors. More specifically, with the current software, supervisors and agents communicate through external tools such as email or Microsoft Link. This is an issue because they lose sight of the important information that's within one supervisor while they are on other windows. So we have created integrated messaging with a new mobile platform so that supervisors can just tap on the preloaded messages to tell their agents important information. In addition, an agent might be having issue with a customer, like Manuel here, who is having like 15 minutes on a call, which indicates a potential issue. In this case, Anna can just tap on the listening button to gain information and insights into the call to understand what's the problem Manuel might be having with the customer and be ready to help. And finally, Anna might notice some issue before other supervisors. For example, like here, the billing issue is at 87% service level, which is low. Anna can use the quick screenshot button, which is located on the navigation bar, to be able to alert other people on the team or other supervisors and reach out for help.
So our third insight was that the old interface slows supervisors down. We noticed that the process to take an action was a very tedious one, and that because of this, some supervisors didn't even use these features. So we wanted to make sure that we address this and also make the available information more clear. So to do that, I'm going to first show you a comparison between the existing interface and the interface that we have designed. So let's take the scenario where a supervisor has to listen in to the agent's conversation. Yeah, so this is with the old interface. The supervisor first finds the option, and then he has to search for which agent he wants to listen into. Once he finds the agent, he has to drag it to another menu, and then he sets these metrics, and it's only after that that he can listen into the call. But as you can see, this was a very long process and valuable time was wasted. So with the new interface, it's just one click away. They tap the listen in icon and they're listening in. So we wanted to do this with all the existing workflows of one supervisor. So we listed the key tasks and we made sure that we were reducing the number of steps drastically. We hope that with this, supervisors will use these tools more frequently because they help them in the situation to listen to the agent. So what did our users think? We tested our prototype with many supervisors. 14 out of 15 said they would prefer to use a mobile solution over the desktop solution. And when we asked them whether they felt that a mobile solution was beneficial, they said, one person said this is great for managing big teams where you can't possibly see everyone at the same time. So some supervisors have many agents and they're sometimes spread across rooms. So when they have a tablet, it's very easy to see an agent in one room and still monitor the other room. Another piece of feedback that we got was because I'm closer to my agents, I can help them more quickly, even when they don't ask for help. So because they're walking around, they're always able to listen in to any issue that occurs, and so they can help the agent immediately. Another piece of feedback that we got was it's useful to have the tablet to show agents what the high-level issue is, to help them understand the situation and why they need to do certain things. Lastly, we got this piece of feedback that said we can go from agent to agent instead of having to go back to our desks each time. So currently the solution is a desktop interface, and so they keep going between the agent and back to their desktop, and with the tablet we reduce that. Now I have demo. We'll have Helen to do the demo.
Thank you, Perna. So I will be giving a demonstration of our final design. First, I will go into the basic functions of our solution, and then I will go into some core tasks that the supervisor is doing constantly throughout their day. So first, this is what we see. The supervisor sees this to monitor all their services and agents. We have a hierarchy of information here, so they see an overview of all the services that they're managing today, and then this breaks down into the services that they have, and this breaks further into all the agents that they're managing for the day. Additionally, supervisors have a preference for what type of information they want to see. Some really care about the trends happening throughout the day, so a graph would be beneficial for them. Others might need to see more of their agents, so we have flexibility in the types of views that they view. So this allows for more agents to be seen if that's the information that they need. Additionally, the information is color-coded, and so this gives supervisors the information they need at a glance, and so problem issues can arise, they know instantly. Furthermore, the information can be broken down, so if I select billing issues here, this gives me all the further metrics that is associated with this service, and then it gives an organized view of all the agents that correspond to each service. Okay, so let's pretend that I am a supervisor now, and I see that there's a problem issue. Billing issues is not meeting threshold, and I see that Manuel is having a way too high of a call time. I can easily go down to the agent options and listen in, and I can assess the situation from there. Now that I know that there's a problem, without leaving the screen or opening up email or another chat window, I can go in and message Manuel and ask him, does he need help? He quickly responds that the customer needs a refund, but he doesn't have the receipt. I'll respond, be right over. I can pick up my tablet and go help this agent without leaving my monitoring tasks. And additionally, throughout the day, the supervisor needs to send hourly performance updates to their managers. Without leaving the screen, they could take a screenshot and select the metrics that they need. And then I can just, from this screen, select my manager, Miguel, and send this to him again without opening another chat window or email. So let's say now that I'm over at Manuel's desk and I'm helping him with an issue. I'm leaving my monitoring, but the system can smartly alert me and tell me that there's an issue in billing issues. So I see that there's 5 calls waiting. I am busy now, so I cannot handle this call. I'm going to dismiss this, but the system saves it for a later time so I can revisit and then handle and take action from here. The system will intelligently suggest that I need to add some agents over, and so I can intelligently reallocate by just one click away, select all, add, and I see that the agents have been added. I go back and assess the issue, and I see now that billing issues is back up to threshold. So from there, we offer One Supervisor Mobile. This gives the supervisor information on the go, streamlined communication, and streamlined workflows. We are Team Menace, and we thank you very much, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Yes.
Hey, so I was wondering, like, what was something from your early report that really informed your
So we were testing out different ways that people could message while they were on the go. And we were exploring sort of voice input or text input. And we thought, voice input would be the most useful because you don't have to type anything out. But then when we actually went to test it, the supervisors were saying, how can I send a voice message to an agent who's on a call? And for have them to listen to that would interrupt the actual call. So instead, we came to this sort of middle ground solution where instead of having to type everything out, supervisors would be presented with an array of sort of generalized responses like, do you need help? I'll come over there, or like, hold the line. And also a set of customer issue specific responses. Since the system knows if the customer is calling about a billing issue or some technical support, the supervisor will be presented with issue specific responses that they can also send with one tap. And the goal of this is to sort of create a culture of over communication in the contact center to surface issues more quickly.
From the human perspective, how do you foresee a supervisor carrying this for 8 hours long in a day? Will it be a burden?
So they would still have, they would have two terminals in a sense. So they would have this device and they would also have their desktop computer. We have designed a desktop version as well, which is not included in the presentation for time constraints. So essentially, we're envisioning that they will still have their desktop computer to do more heavy lifting. For example, they want to do reports, but when they leave their desktops, everything will be synced seamlessly and have the same information when they are on the floor.
And also, generally, what we found in the contact centers is that supervisors are, these very fast-paced, action-oriented workers, and when they're at their desks is kind of when they're actually they're like looking for something to do. So when we actually tested this in person, the supervisors were quite excited to be able to sort of be on their feet all their time and be better coaches for their agents.
Average is a supervisor supervising, and does this interface design scale up?
Right now, we found that supervisors manage a range of 5 to 15 agents, and one of the goals of this design is to actually increase that number, reduce the number of supervisors needed to manage a group of agents. And as of now, it does support a view with a larger number of agents, though at some point it will need an even more condensed view, probably.
Yes. Do you feel like you eliminated or lost any functionality by streamlining the workflows?
Should I say it again? Do you feel like you lost or eliminated any functionality by streamlining the workflows? So going from the old workflow, do you think there's any old functionality that was lost in going to this new design?
Yeah, one of the concerns our clients had was they want to keep all the functions. This has been a software, one supervisor, the current desktop version has been around for about 10 years. And they were stressing that they want to keep all the functions because the clients use it. I think eventually we were able to convince them through our research and through our design that it's not the functions the clients need, it's the end goal they want to achieve, it's the benefits they get from the functions. So as long as we're able to deliver those, they're quite happy with what we have now.
Do you make any calculations for your client of how much their clients would safe by using something like this that reduces the workflow like by one or time?
Not yet, might be a good idea though.
All right, well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Sharon, the project manager for Team Explora. Let's go find the others.
Wait, are you live?
Yeah.
Does that mean yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, so cool! Look at all those hearts and reactions. Hey guys, my name is John. I'm the development lead for the project. So let's try to find the other. I think Ayla might be somewhere over there.
Okay guys, I'll be right there.
And Jason might join us soon.
Oh, hey guys. Well, there's a lot of viewers in here. I'm Jason, the creative lead for Team Explora. Oh look, is that Andrew? And Helen? And Will too, hey guys.
Oh hey, I'm Ayla, the user research lead. Is that Perna? Hi Perna. We want to share with you the project we've been working on for almost a year. So let's get started.
Okay, welcome everyone to Team Explora's final MHCI Capstone presentation. So let's meet the team. We are a group of young professionals with varied backgrounds and a passion for UX. We believe that understanding our users is key to designing a great product. So we are excited to talk to you about it. So we'll start with introducing our project, then a walkthrough of our product vignette, then talk about the design process that led us here, and end with a live demo of one of our flows. So, who's our client? Our client is More4U. They are an online tour operator based here in Madeira. They own several domains throughout Portugal, like Visit in Madeira or Visit in Lisbon. They gave us a special brief, and it was to promote the experience of Madeira in a dynamic and interactive way to reach the largest number of end customers through More4U domain, Visit in Madeira. Two things to keep in mind from here: that our solution needed to be a pilot and be replicated to the other domains that More4U owns. Also, that our solution needs to be integrated with what More4U current booking system.
So last semester, we spent the 4 months conducting research to create the foundation of our design this semester. The first activity we did was a literature review, in which we learned more about the history of tourism in Madeira and also about the existing demographics of people that come here. We also did a competitive analysis where we looked at global and domestic competitors, and we saw opportunity for specific Madeiran content that we could have, as well as an integrated booking system. We also talked to actual tourists, so we did interviews where we heard specific anecdotes on their needs and their challenges. And finally, we did some field research where we went to Copenhagen and Prague to look at other examples of tourism done well. And we saw that, for example, in Copenhagen, there was a nice way they integrated local life with tourism there.
So that led us to some key insights. First, we learned that tourists associate unique offerings with Madeira. So they see that there is very unique nature here in the Levadas. They also come here for specific festivities like the Flower Festival and the fireworks later. But with that, we also have to learn that there's also global tourism trends happening, and we need to learn how to also cater to the younger demographics. We also found that tourists really value meaningful connections when they come, so they want to be able to connect with both locals and other travelers. And during their planning phase, they wanted to have some degree of control in their trip planning, and they wanted contextual information as well as the right information at the right time in their travels. Finally, we found that they were looking for some sort of authenticity in their travel, so we wanted to explore this furthermore. So we did a little activity exploring what authenticity could mean. We defined it in 4 different ways. So first we thought, what could a traveler think of authenticity? First we thought, well, some travelers are coming to meet certain expectations when they go to a place. They already have travel guides open, they have blogs bookmarked, and they really are coming to meet certain expectations. But another way of looking at it is that other travelers are looking for total freedom. They want to really get deep into the weeds and travel and find things for themselves. A third way is that maybe they just really want to immerse and contribute to the environment they're in. And finally, they might want a balance of all these things, where they want some of familiarity, but they also want also to explore for themselves. So this helped us create thinking about our design goals, finally, where we first wanted to make sure our design addressed the social contextual needs of travelers, but also that our solution should be able to address different audiences coming here, so both younger couples as well as the more traditional German and UK tourists. Also that it should be able to scale to other markets and other domains that our client has. And finally, that it needs to also synchronize with the website. So going forward, we had a guiding statement that helped us. We want to seek to understand the motivations and goals of tourists to design a traveling platform that allows them to better discover unique holiday experiences. And so that would we introduce to you.
Vignette, a live video platform for discovering, socializing, and booking unique travel experiences. We want you to be there and see what the experience is really like. Gone are the days when users are fooled by selective company reviews and stock photos. Vignette puts you as close to the real thing as possible. So how does it work? Let's start with our viewers. Viewers are brought to our platform when people share their videos through social media and other referral means. They then view live videos on the website and book experiences through provided company links. Partnered businesses then provide discounts to the user for booking through Vignette. Morphew generates additional partnerships by generating more traffic to business websites through the Vignette platform. Streamers are our users that are in the experiencing phase of their journey. Streamers broadcast their live videos to the Vignette platform and share videos with their friends and family through social media. John will show you a demo from the streamer's perspective a bit later. Our users, along with our partnered businesses, are the entities that allow this cycle to sustain itself. Now we want to show you how a user could discover our product and how it impacts their experience in Madeira. Let's do a product walkthrough to see how Stephanie would use Vignette. Stephanie is a young Berliner, a globetrotter, and a nature lover herself. Stephanie is ready to go on her next vacation, but hasn't given much thought recently as to where she wants to go. After a long day at work, Stephanie puts dinner in the oven and starts to browse Facebook as she waits for her food to cook.
Oh gosh, I'm starving.
After a couple minutes, she comes across a Vignette video ad.
Oh great, another ad. Oh wait, but this says live, and that looks like a real person.
She decides to click on the link. Curious to see more and largely in need of a vacation herself, Stephanie decides to browse the homepage. She scrolls through the home screen and sees all the amazing live videos being broadcasted and is intrigued by the featured video in Portuguese. This piques her interest of the prospect of going to Madeira, a place she had previously thought was reserved by the elderly.
Wow, I didn't know Madeira had so many options for outdoor activities.
Always looking for new and challenging outdoor activities, she decides to explore this paradise of an island further by typing Madeira hiking in the search bar. She is met by a diverse set of search results, some of which appear to be live videos and others that were streamed in the past. As an avid hiker herself, her attention is drawn towards a live broadcast of someone hiking through a glorious backdrop of mountains. She thinks to herself,
Wow, this place is surreal.
And clicks on the video. After clicking on the video, she becomes mesmerized by the breathtaking curves of Madeira. She wonders how or why she never gave Madeira a second thought, but now she's glad that she has.
How did it take me so long to realize that Madeira has all these outdoor activities?
Stephanie entertains the idea of booking this hiking adventure. As a budget traveler, she is happy to see a discount available in the video, but she sees that she needs to sign up with Vignette in order to redeem it.
I have to make an account.
But she clicks on sign up anyways. She is happy to see that she can easily log into the platform using Facebook.
Okay, well that wasn't too bad.
Upon arriving to the website, she sees a pop-up with a 10% discount that she received through Vignette. Stephanie knows a good deal when she sees one.
Score.
After checking her calendar, she decides to book the activity and a flight to Madeira the following month.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell Berta.
She is excited to spend her holidays on a new adventure in Madeira. Fast forward, Stephanie has now traveled to Madeira and enjoyed the beautiful Levada walk she booked through the Vignette website. Stephanie thoroughly enjoyed the hiking activity she booked on Vignette's web platform, and the views were even better in person. She decides to use Vignette after hiking to view more activities around her. She opens up the app and sees the homepage. Stephanie notices the green camera button on the bottom navigation bar.
Oh, I see. This must be where I record.
She also notices the variety of activities to do in Madeira, including some nightlife.
Copacabana looks like a good place to loosen up. I think I'm going to go there tonight.
She sees the trending video back on the top of the homepage and is intrigued by the girl who seems into her ice cream.
Wow, that looks very good. I love gelato.
She clicks on the like button.
Oh, the hearts are so cute. I wonder what other kind of videos this girl makes.
She clicks on the user's profile and, much to her surprise, sees that she is also very much into outdoor activities.
Wow, she's an adventure type, like me. I think I'll follow her.
Now that she's back on the video, Stephanie notices how active the chat is.
Oh, I wonder what the streamer's saying.
She's really enjoying the streamer's video now.
Okay, this looks really delicious. I should find out more about this place.
Stephanie browses around the partner site and finds the location of the gelato vendor.
I'm definitely going to get some of that before I go out tonight.
Stephanie adds the gelato vendor to her wish list to make sure she doesn't forget, and then closes the stream. Later on that afternoon, she enjoys her afternoon treat and gets prepared to do her own first live stream later tonight at Copacabana.
Vignette is so cool. I can easily find fun things to do and share what I'm doing with all my friends and family.
That's our mission with Vignette, to enhance the experience of meticulous planners, spontaneous people, young professionals, old retirees, and everyone in between. Next, I'll pass it to Ayla to tell you about how we got here.
Okay, so how did we arrive here? Well, at first, it was just an idea. But after a few ideation sessions, we moved into prototyping, beginning with these paper prototypes. We gradually increased our levels of fidelity, arriving at what now you see on the right. So as we designed, we considered the insights that we'd gathered from our spring semester research. We placed extra emphasis on improving our key features like viewing, streaming, and booking experiences. So we decided to test our prototypes on locals of Berlin to understand how exactly the planning and experiencing phases of travel would impact the design of our platform. So in the planning phase, we envisioned that our users would use the desktop version of Vignette to browse different videos at home. And for the experiencing phase, we imagined users on the mobile platform live streaming at their travel destinations. So some of our key insights included having to prompt live streamers to turn the orientation of their phones from portrait to landscape view so that the quality of the viewing experience was improved. And another key insight was to provide users with more options for sharing their videos on social media channels so that they could gain a greater audience or bigger audience. And finally, our testing helped us design the way of navigating users to our partners' websites in order for them to book activities. So what did our users think? Well, one user said that sharing videos would make me want to use this even more. This statement made us realize that we should really emphasize the sharing aspect of our platform to be more robust. And another user said, I would definitely use it. When will it be available? As you can see, this user was very anxious to get her hands on the product. And a third user said, I would still watch videos on here even if I wouldn't necessarily do the activities. So this shows that the videos are inherently engaging even though it's not tied to any commercial incentive. One quote that we found had really validated our concept was, even though it's advertising to me, it feels like the real thing, and I believe it. This statement really aligns with our goals of wanting to promote authenticity for the user while still providing business value to our key stakeholders. So now, John's going to walk you through a live demo.
So now we're going to show you the perspective of the streamer and how what they will see. So once they have their cell phones, they will open the app and they're going to see that home screen over here. So once they want to see something that they want to stream, they will go to the record button in the bottom bar over here. So let's say that we found this beautiful traditional Madeira hats and we want to stream it to our viewers to see it. So we're going to put it on and say pigtail hats. Let's enter the information here. Pigtail hats. Also, they can include suggested tags based on location and possible activities that they might be doing. So let's say hashtag Madeira. Now the application will prompt them to turn the phone landscape with this animation over here. Once they do, they can go live. Here you will see a little instruction of how to access the menu. Some of the other elements that we have here are the viewer count. Every time that the new viewers join in or they like your video, some reactions will come in the form of hearts. Also, you over here have comments to interact with the other viewers. So let's say we want to open that menu, we swipe up, and this menu will come up. Now you can change between the rear camera and the front camera by just one click, or you can, if you want experience without interacting with the viewers, you can just simply hide the chat. So let's say that I want to now end the stream, I'll simply go and stop the live stream. Now, you are prompted with a summary of your stream where you can see the total viewers and the video length. You can still edit and add some more hashtags by simply clicking on it and finish. So with this, we would like to thank our partnerships and sponsors, especially Madeira Interactive Technology Institute, the Universidad de Madeira, Carnegie Mellon, our client More For You, and our faculty that help us reach this point. Thank you very much, and we're gladly taking any questions.
So this platform for streaming will be highly demanding on the service side of things. Do you consider that?
Yes, but our client gave us free license to come up with the idea that we wanted. We know that it's going to be hard. As of now, they don't have the physical structures, the servers to implement this, but it's a possibility for them to invest and go ahead.
I think it's a great idea and it has potential to be a global service.
We were debating whether to even feature Madeiran content or just global content, because we had the urge to just start putting like global content on the demonstration, but we wanted to also really highlight Madeiran stuff.
So in the name of More For You, we would like to thank Team Explorer for being so dynamic and creative. And of course, for the development done in this project, that was very greatly interpreted by you. And we will for sure continue this development with interested partners from 2017 on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
mats are still down here, by the way.
Okay, cool. Thank you everyone for coming and hanging out with us for a few hours. We are Elementary, and today we're presenting Echo, a way for you to master your finances. My name is Andrew R. McHugh, and collectively we are known as Elementary, and I'm going to start us off here by looking at the ask and the problem. And also I'm the project manager and development lead for this project. We start with Exitish, our client. They're a software and IT company that provides services to banks. These can be services including core banking, internet banking, and mobile banking, among others. And they're popular particularly in Angola and Mozambique, but also in other Lusophone countries as well, including Portugal. Their brief, what they originally gave to us, was that they said that they seek results in terms of knowledge and technology that will improve and adapt the way that their customers interact with their products. And so we took this and did about 4 months of market and user research, completing a competitive analysis, interviews, a literature review, photo diary study, and survey. And after all of this, we were able to truly define and understand a problem. And that problem is that we don't use banks because we want to. We want to get a job or support our new families or pay for a night out on the town. We happen to use banks because they allow us to store our money. They allow us to store and retrieve our money securely and sometimes even easily. Because banks are so ingrained in our lives, do they not also have a responsibility to go beyond showing us just lines of transactions? We realized from our research that when people look at their finances, they generally have 3 different questions. First, how am I doing? As in, how am I doing today? 2, how will I be doing in the near and long-term futures? And 3, if I do this, like move to a new city or get a job or am thinking about having a child, what is going to happen? How is that going to affect my finances? Looking at it this way, we can consider that banks, and specifically consumer or personal banking, is opaque. And by opaque, we mean that it's hard to see what's happening with your finances, and this produces less trust and more skepticism with the users. And so in response to this, Elementary, we created a transparent banking product that utilizes learning and prediction to provide better service. And with that, I'm going to bring Jay up here, and she'll talk about process.
Thank you. My name is Jae-won, and I am the UX design lead for Elementary, and I'll be walking through our design process. So the first thing there were 3 design principles that we wanted to convey for our mobile app. We wanted to make sure that it was transparent, and we also wanted to let users know what to expect. What we mean by that is to have data-driven expectations, such as knowing upcoming transactions or having some contextual insights, and also showing relations of users to others. And with this, our design techniques included designing for a mobile app, adhering to Google's material design, and we did this because they have a good documentation that can also be easily adapted to other platforms, including Android, iOS, and it also has a big Android footprint as well. And also, we wanted to integrate machine learning for prediction. So in order to provide meaningful predictions for each and every individual, we needed to segment specific information for specific individuals. And for this, we imagined a machine learning for predicting types of individuals by doing a customer typology. So let's start with this. So imagine that all these blue dots are humans, and we want to group these people in different ways to provide more useful and relevant information for them. So humans can segment them. So it could be based on how much money they earn or what their age is. In this example, let's say the middle group is middle-income individuals. But a better way to do this is to let a computer find affinities between people and group them based on even more similar features rather than just the general feature. So the orange dots are still the middle income group, but now we know that these individuals they're frequent travelers. Their ages are between 26 to 32, and they do not have a car. So basically, this one is more data-driven, and these are things that humans might not realize should be grouped together. And this is what we took in consideration when building our customer typology. So moving on to our numbers, this semester, we did 5-part visions, 4 design sprints, 12 mid-5 prototypes, 32 user tests, 44 internal critiques, and these all led up to our 1 high-fidelity prototype, which we'll be sharing with you shortly. So we started our process by doing some visioning. Our vision included 5 parts, or 5 ideas that we came up with through our research insights. The first one is about anticipating expenditures, which helps users see near-term future spending patterns. Easy ways to save helps the users start saving for something very easily and quickly. For life goal prioritization, users would write down their goal, and the app would help meet the user's goal. Future simulation helped users see long-term predictions about their future spending patterns, and automatic categorization automatically categorizes users' spending patterns. And with this, we implemented what is called a design sprint, which was inspired by Google Ventures' design sprint methods. This condenses traditional HCI methods into one single week. And if you're not familiar with HCI, we started off by doing research. We would create goals, come up with a list of questions, create some service blueprints. We would then follow this up by doing some sketches. We would also make storyboards. And then this would lead up to doing some prototypes. And then we would finish our week by doing some user testing. And our user test included 32 user tests, users in total. And we did some think alouds where the users would basically talk about what they see, and this allowed us to gain insights with all these user feedbacks, which ultimately helped us to improve our design. And we did a total of 4 design sprints from our 5-part vision, and the first one is called Pocket, which is for setting personal goals. Footprint explored automatic categorized spending. Telescope took a look at long-term predictions, and Echo explored these short-term spending expectations. So we had many different stages of our prototypes, ranging from low fidelity to medium fidelity to our high fidelity prototype. And for each iteration, we had a lot of internal critiques that we did as a group, which allowed us to get to our final prototype, Echo, which Joel and Andrew will be introducing.
So hello, good afternoon. I'm Joel Rodriguez. I'm the user research lead and UX designer.
And I'm Andrew Navani. I'm the human factors design lead, and we're excited to introduce you to Echo. So Echo has 3 main sections that we'll be walking you through, which is transactions, goals, and simulator.
So we're going to start with some insight from our user tests. So we found that our users want to feel in control of their finances. And adhering to our design principle of transparency, we found that our users really favor the clear representation of their balance, free from other sources of data, like overdraft availability, unauthorized balance, and because sometimes this can be confusing for them, what is available, what isn't available. Also, users like to view their spending in relation to a previous year. This is helpful when you compare it with a year view. So here, users see a benchmark of their current spending against the previous year. This provides the user a rapid understanding of how they are doing, if they are doing better or worse. At the same time, the application predicts future spending, seen as the grade cloud, with some uncertainty variance. And this prediction takes into account context events such as holidays, like Christmas, and events like your anniversary or birthdays. On the other hand, we understand that our users need to make sense of their spending, so Echo lets them understand where they spend their money. This is why we provide our users with the knowledge about their habits. We do this through the use of a two-tier categorization with the parent and daughter category. We also add another feature to categorization, letting users to add notes and hashtags to transactions. This is excellent for those occasions when you need to add some contextual data to one or more transactions, and this was happily welcomed. Now I'm going to pass to Novotny, that will walk us through.
Right. So when we first get to our main screen of our transaction, which is the first screen users will see when they log in, they get a prominent display of how much money they currently have available, because we found that most users desire that, as well as displaying them a bar of how much we expect them to spend from looking at their previous transaction history, as well as which gives them the financial security to know that they're on track to meet their lifestyle choices and goals. Below that, we give users insights into their spending habits that benefit the user in multiple ways, such as seeing where they spend a lot of money, seeing their average spending, or just seeing if they're accomplishing goals. Below that, in today's world, there's many different transactions that are absolute. And by absolute, I mean there's recurring subscriptions like Spotify, Netflix that occur every month on the same day. So through using machine learning, we can easily locate those purchases and help users to know about the purchases that are coming up so they can plan for their near future, as well as using machine learning to look for things that are relative transactions, such as we see that you go to a grocery store about twice a month. So we see that you haven't gone in about a week. We can guess that you'll go in the next week. And we can say, give you a variance or a ballpark estimate of how much that would cost you to let you know, again, your finances. Further along, we again use our two-tier categorization system. So for example, our Pingo Doce is categorized under food and then the subcategory groceries. And if I were to tap onto that transaction, I'm able to go further into the insights and to be able to see my previous transactions at Pingo Doce, as well as able to see again my variance and potential other insights, and being able to tag it, like Jules talked about earlier, to let people, again, know the full understanding of that transaction. But just understanding one transaction isn't enough. So we also give users the ability to look at their different spendings inside of a category per month basis or different time periods, as well as being able to see the full picture of their finances and visualizations that make sense to people and easily let them understand their spending habits. Through showing this, we've gotten a lot of good feedback from users that really liked it to help them understand where their money's going and how they're spending and saving.
So we also found that our users generally think in terms of achieving goals or life milestones. This is important for them either as a member of a community or as a personal growth. So in a way to aid our users in this process, we created goals. So goals are shown as cards, but these cards are more than just the representation of a progress of savings. They are the metaphorical container for the money that you need to achieve a specific goal or a specific milestone. Users see it also as paying by installments, but without the negative implications. We found that users, most of the users would have 2 to 3 of these goals, which one would be a long-term commitment, like renovating the house or paying for a car. One interesting aspect about the goals section is that the user is paying money towards it daily. And this was seen as good by our users because it gives them a better understanding of the impact on their overall finances. So it's just like €1 a day or €2 a day instead of being, more money at the end of the year. So normally different goals require different structures. So we noticed that our users like to follow structure input. In some goals, and some goals required some contextual data. This also helps the application to improve its suggestions and the amount that is needed to be saved for each specific goal. To achieve this, Echo uses machine learning to cluster users within similar conditions. This could be the salary or saving potential or current financial responsibilities, but could also be others. So by using the structure input, our users are able to get a clear sense of the factors that influence the achievement of their goal. This is shown to make goals feel more achievable. And users are more enthusiastic to start it, which leads to a better perception of their financial capability. So now, Ivani will walk us through.
Right, so we get to the goal screen, which is just a tap away on the nav bar. We get to see our different goals. So each one of these goals is a different bucket. And by bucket, we mean the money drips in every day, once a day, like Joel said. So again, on our goal screen, we show that for trip to Salvador, that goal shows €7 per day. If I were to think about it as €7 per day, I can think about, oh, that's maybe 2 Pregos a day I'm not eating. Or, I don't know, some people like Pregos. Okay, anyway, so yeah, so instead of like saying 210 per month, I'm more likely to think about, oh, I can save €7 per day rather than 210, that seems like a lot. As well as being able to see the progress in percent of how much food, or how much, still thinking about Pregos, how much you're saved towards that goal. So if we were to if we wanted to add a new goal, we would go into the add goal feature, which again goes to the categorization system, which lets users give a decent idea of what they're trying to do with their money. So each one of these categories contains different questions. So if we go into the travel goal here, we contain what is your destination, how many people you're paying for, and when do you want to accomplish this goal by when you're saving it for it. And so each of these goals categories contain the important factors that influence how much you need to save and how much you need to save by. So that way we can ask people with limited number of inputs meaningful data and be able to help them out. So when going through these screens and entering numbers and data, I'll be able to change my day, and at the end I'll be able to see that this is how much money I should save per week so that I can meet my goal on time and easily accomplish it. Again, this is all automatic as well, so once I input my goal, I can easily not have to think about it anymore, and slowly but surely I will be able to accomplish my goal on time. So with testing with users, one user was really excited and wanted to sell it to their bank Millennium. So they were really excited for this part of the application.
So the other section in our application is a simulator. So we found that our users want banks to take a leading role in providing clear and easy to digest information about their finances, but also their behaviors and the implication of those behaviors in their finances. So to shed some light in this matter, we created a simulator. So we found that what is normally missing to our users is knowledge. Knowledge is the key factor between an informed and effective decision and a regrettable mistake. So Simulator tries to provide users with the knowledge they need in the right occasion. May that be a change on their lifestyle, or an important new step in their life, like a change in their career, or a personal life event like wedding or new baby. So an interesting aspect to Simulator is that the older generation really enjoys this section. It gives them the opportunity to follow and understand the ever-changing financial environment that they live, and that might affect their daily saving capabilities. So when using the simulator, we found that our users want to see clearly the impact that their choices make. So we provide visualizations. And this was pointed out to be, by our users, to be an important step in helping them understand the implications that some of the factors play in stressing or not stressing their finances. So to ensure that our users keep visualizing, like the graph or the visualization while they're changing or making their choices, we compressed the title bar so the graph is always visual. And this was important for them because it provides a direct cause-effect correlation. So if I change if I renegotiate my mortgage and I have a different interest rate, I see the impact on that, and I learn from it. So another important aspect to Simulator is that users are willing to take the first step in acquiring or searching new products or services as they felt empowered and confident. We found that this is an important factor due to the user's decision-making process, and it contrasts with the traditional advertising that normally provides less interactivity or transparency about the product and its impact in someone's life. So we're going to show.
So at the simulator section, this is more about understanding, like Joel said, about understanding what will happen if I do this. So we should have multiple different categories of questions that people think about things, from lifestyle to loans to housing to really complex things like education or cost of child and retirement. So each of these sections contains different types of data, different questions to ask people, and again, usually like goals, uses minimal and structured. So for example, if I wanted to look at how long it would take me to pay back a loan, I'd go to the loan section and I would tap how long does it take me to pay back a loan. So here again, I would input the data, which would change the graph at the top, as well as changing my answer in the subheader, and be able to give me a reasonable expectation of how long it would take me to accomplish this goal and how well it would best fit into my lifestyle. And I'm also able to play with this data and be able to see which information would best fit. If I wanted to spend more this year, maybe I wanted to put off paying my loan, I could simulate that easily. Before, users would have to typically go to a bank, but now we're empowering users to be able to do this kind of stuff right from their phone, right from their own time, without having to require services of other people. And using this data-driven expectation of their information to be able to help them accomplish what they want to do in life. And this person, an older gentleman, really liked this part because he was still paying back his housing loans, and he didn't understand clearly how much he was paying for his house and how long it would take him to pay off, even though he had just talked to a banker previously. So with transaction goals and simulator, we believe we've empowered our users to help them truly understand their finances. And now I'd like to bring back Andrew R. McHugh to finish this off.
Thank you. So we started this project about 1 year ago. In total, the project has been about 8 months long. When we first sat down and talked with users, they said that they wanted to save and that they wanted the bank to help them understand where they can improve. They also told us that they want to feel in control of their own finances. And so looking at this and other user feedback, we understood the problem, as the banks aren't necessarily answering those 3 questions that I talked about before. 1, how am I doing? 2, how will I be doing in the near and long-term futures? And 3, if I change something, how does that affect my finances? And we know, after all of this work, that with existing data and better designs, that banks can answer these questions. And that is why we created a transparent banking product that utilizes learning and prediction to provide better service. We call it Echo, and you can see it in the demo sessions today. Thank you. Questions?
So you actually implemented this, or it was not clear? Is it just
Yeah.
high fidelity prototype?
So I guess what do you mean by implement?
Yeah, we used Marvel. We've done testing here and in Lisbon. And so they have kind of like a feel of the look and how it works, the flow, like setting a new goal or looking at the simulator. And so that's as implemented as it is.
Going off of that, so we also worked in Framer to test out some of the specific interactions we were doing. So Marvel more for the visual design, and then Framer for the interactions. And you can see both in the demo session. Additionally, when we were prototyping, as much as possible, we tried to use real data. And so after we had a general direction for the designs, I took my 2015 transaction data and plugged it in so we could make sure that our designs are robust enough, and some of the simpler algorithms, at least we implemented in that.
So you ran the algorithms over some kind of sample data?
Yeah, yeah. In terms of the more complicated machine learning algorithms, they are not created, but we're designing the suggestions for the engineers to start working. Yeah.
And did you bump into any kind of issues with accessing this type of information? Is there, I'm speculating, are there restrictions to how much machine learning and data mining can be done by the banking systems over this personal data?
We haven't looked into it, yeah. We wanted to kind of we know that European Union is trying to open the bank's API in a way. So that means that we could access some sort of information, and that's kind of goes in that direction, that the bank can provide you this type of information too.
It's a good direction. It's better than making everybody go bankrupt, which is what
Yeah.
financial systems is doing.
Yeah, we try to be as transparent as possible.
What are some...
Sorry, Jason.
I didn't do people.
Okay, what are some useful push notifications for people help users to operate in tasks?
Oh, we had like the example, for example, in the goal section, that a person really, so she was a taxi driver, and she, as a taxi driver, she makes money every day because the taxi is seen as the money maker. So she kind of like, there's some overlord behind it that actually keeps all the money. And she was like, I would really like to set one of these goals to get my own taxi, like a sedan. So the impact was really interesting there. Also, we had other users who would like to look at their mortgage and look at the different opportunities from other banks with the bank that they have, and see if it is meaningful for them to renegotiate a loan or not. So they would like the simulator to tweak and see that and learn. Because some of the things, like a pamphlet doesn't give you that interaction. They show you a percentage, like we're lower than everybody else, but you can't actually see that. So the simulator brings that out, so you can really see the impact directly to you. Pedro.
So representing, Exodus, I would like to thank you all, Jay, Andrew, and Joel. It was nice to have you on board. For sure, this will be a piece of work we are going to introduce in our roadmap of products. You know, it was nice to see you, the way you understand the financial service on channel solutions. We are going to merge this with the research we are doing in-house about machine learning and artificial intelligence. So it was a pleasure, and good luck for your career.
Yeah, thank you. It was also our pleasure.
It was our
Yeah.
pleasure.
Are there any other questions? No? Well, thank you.
Good job, everybody.